Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's been a minute. The last time when I uploaded, I think it was 2 years ago. And then after that, things just started going downhill from then on. I was in and out of hospital. So I'm back. Still not 100%. As you can see, I've got a tube through my nose. But I'll be updating you and filling you in what's been happening for the past 2 years. So guys, please don't forget to like the video, comment, and also subscribe. I'm planning on uploading as many videos from now on as possible, just keeping you up to date with my day-to-day life and everything that's going on. So this video you are going to listen to is the very first days when I got admitted into hospital. So I hope you enjoy it, and I know it's not a very happy video, but at least you'll get to understand exactly what's going on. So I will talk to you in the next video. So day 18 in hospital, second time around. I came the first time on the 25th of on the 27th of March, and I was admitted, and they discovered that I had bowel obstruction. So I was admitted for 2 weeks, but still during my stay I wasn't able to eat or drink, so I was just having IV fluids, everything was just being fed through IV. So I was discharged after 2 weeks, but went back home, and I got worse because back at home I could not even feed myself, let alone pureed food that they'd asked me to eat. I couldn't. Ensure, my go-to, I couldn't. So when I realized that I was losing so much weight, I had to come back to the A&E. So when I came back, they were kind of shocked because I had lost over 10 pounds within the 3 weeks that I stayed at home. So this is second time around. This is day 18, I think it is now. Ever since I've come in, a lot has happened. Yeah, I've been on IV. I'm nil by mouth. I'm not allowed to eat. I'm not allowed to drink. And even if I try, my bowels are not working. They are not digesting any food. So it just goes in, and then it comes out in the, when it comes out as bile. And sometimes I accumulate that bile and I'm forever bloated. As you can see even here, my stomach is bloated. Yeah, so I've been constantly vomiting bile, even trying to get a toothbrush myself to brush my teeth, and when I am cleaning my tongue, just let myself throw up. So that I was using that as a way to relieve myself of all that bile that kept accumulating in my stomach. So it got to a point whereby my belly just got way too bloated, and I couldn't breathe properly. And initially when I first came, they told me that if that bile stays in the stomach, then it can start going to the lungs and the kidneys. But this time around, when I came back to A&E, they told me that they were not going to insert an NG tube because they were worried that I might bleed because I've got varices in my stomach, and also they were worried of infection. But it got to a point whereby, their worries didn't really matter at this point. It was now like an emergency situation that bile really needed to come out. So I broke down, and then eventually they inserted, it's a small NG tube that I have right now, but it's doing its job. Like as you can see, that color green, you know, it's actually draining out all that bile into this other bag that I'm attached to. That's a bile bag right here. So it fills up and then they empty it. And I've got another one that is draining water because my bowels are not working. Sometimes I get fluid retention, you know, so I've got another one that's actually draining water there. And I've got this, what they call a PICC line. So this one is the one that's feeding me. As you can see, I'm actually being fed right now. You know, this tube right here, all that white stuff is food. So it's actually being fed through the PICC line straight into my vein and into my system. Yeah, they say to me, you will be gaining weight slowly, but the process is slow, very, very slow. Because my weight had gone down to 6 pounds, 6 ton, yeah, 6.9, I think it was. Yeah, I was looking like a skeleton. Yeah, and this right here is what they call a pod, you know, because I suffer from so many cramps and stomach pains, and, you know, so I'm on morphine when I'm in hospital. So all they do is when I'm due for a dosage, they just inject it in here, the morphine. So rather than constantly injecting me on my skin, it just goes into the pod and straight into my veins. So that's just how that's how I get my morphine. And I also got a cannula on this side of the head, you know, so this is where things like Buscopan or water or whatever, they just want to, you know, or antibiotics. Yeah, they actually insert them through this one. Yeah, so today, day 18, I just found out, because you know, when I came back here the second time around, initially the plan was to refer me to St. Mark's Hospital, that's in London, because they are the experts when it comes to bowel disease, you know. So initially the hospital did not do anything. They just kept saying, oh, we are referring you to St. Mark's. So I went back home when they discharged me, them making me think that they had already done the referral, but there was nothing. There was no referral that had been made. So it's only this time around when the referral was done, because we had to fill in, you know, the referral form together, because there's a part when the patient also had to fill in their signature, to sign in their signature. So that's the only time that I was certain that the referral was done. So yeah, you know, one of the junior doctors that I was dealing with, she was so onto the case. Yeah, she was following it all up, and I think they responded, St. Mark's, and they also left their number, and they wanted to communicate with the gastroenterologist who's local at this hospital where I am, and then they'll see whether they can come up with a care plan for me, you know. But it wasn't guaranteed that St. Mark's Hospital was going to accept me, you know, so because I think St. Mark's will also need to do their own assessment as well. But it turned out that, you know, the gastroenterologist here and St. Mark's Hospital, they spoke yesterday. So I just received the news today that St. Mark's has accepted me. So I really cried this morning, not to cry because of sadness, but I cried tears of joy, because this has been a long time coming. I do not even know how I got here. If I tell you guys, I don't know how I got here. It's been years and years and years of me complaining about the same thing, going to have CT scans, ultrasound, X-ray, you know, how all this got missed to a point where it just gets to this. I've got absolutely no idea, you know, because it's like it just got from bad to worse, really. You know, I never thought things would turn out to be like this. Anyway, they gave me the diagnosis. They called it encapsulating peritoneal sclerosis. Encapsulating peritoneal sclerosis. So that's what I have. And they said it's scar tissue now that's blocking all my intestines. You know, so any type of food or fluid or liquid I try to put through my mouth, it will just come back because all my intestines, my bowels are obstructed. You know, so now St. Mark's being the experts, you know, I am just praying to God that they'll come up with a solution and I'll be able to get my life back and I'll be able to eat again, you know, and I'll be able to just live a normal life, because it's just been one hell of a roller coaster ride. I have gone through so much, I cannot even begin to tell you. There's a time when I had lost hope and I just didn't even think I would make it, you know, but through the support of my family who just keep encouraging me to be strong, you know, and now I'm hopeful. And the fact that also St. Mark's has accepted me, I'm hopeful, and I'm just praying to God that, you know, all these too shall pass, you know, and I'll gain my health back and I'll be healed and restored. Yeah, so this is just a quick update to let you know. And by the way, I'm still waiting for a bed from St. Mark's. They said it's just not going to be today or tomorrow. It can take a couple of days or even weeks, you know, but the bottom line is St. Mark's has accepted me. You know, that's the bottom line. However long I'm going to wait from here on now, it's irrelevant, but I'm just glad that, you know, I'll end up being at a hospital where it's specialized with people who know about bowel problems. You know, that's why I'm relieved now. I'm actually so happy. You do not even understand, you know, because I was in limbo here, because they didn't know what to do with me here. They did not know what to do with me. They pretty much told me that we can't help you, you know. So my only hope was St. Mark's, and thank God, you know, they responded, and thank God, you know, they are willing to look into my case and help me and see what they can do with me. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, and I just hope that you guys pray for me as well. You know, I know it's going to be a long ride, but the bottom line is, you know, I'm in the right direction now. I'm in the right hands. I'll be treated according to the treatment I require. Yeah, that's why I'm happy now. Yeah, so this is my little update. This is my room in here where I spend most of the time. You know, right now I'm still attached on TPN, so I'm just gonna stay put, you know, in my bed and just go through my phone and scroll and whatnot. You know, but the TPN, I think it stops at 4 o'clock today. So when it stops at 4 o'clock, I'll just come out of bed and go and sit, you know, in a chair, you know, or take a walk. I'll just be walking up and down just to get a little bit of exercise, because you can just be stuck in bed if you're not careful. So it's always wise to just come out of bed, take a walk. Your little strolls, they help, at least sit on a chair, lift up your hands, just, come up with some form of exercise. So yeah, that's just what I'm gonna do. And I will keep you guys updated every single day until the day I reach St. Mark's. Alright, see you later.